A study on pathogen reservoirs, the case of the Sandhill cranes and Alaskan pea fields, by Samantha Flagler.
Joseph Wheeler.
And Caitlin Smets.
In June 2008, close to 100 people in Anchorage, Alaska began to fall ill. Patients had symptoms of gastrointestinal distress. The diarrheal illness on average lasted for 9 days in patients and led to 5 people being hospitalized. Test results of these patients were all conclusive of Campylobacter jejuni. Investigators eventually confirmed pathogen from patients in pea samples from a local farm that sold shelled peas. The pea farm happened to be located 10 miles from Palmer Hay Flats, which is a wildlife refuge where 20,000 sandhill cranes migrate to in the summer months. During the warm months, workers in the pea fields noted seeing cranes in the fields during harvesting. From these pea samples, isolates were found to match those from sandhill crane fecal samples. It can be concluded that cranes flying overhead of the fields and cranes stopping in the fields and depositing feces is what led to the contamination and outbreak of Campylobacter at this specific pea farm.
Campylobacter is in the top 5 list of most common reported cases of foodborne illness each year. Specifically, Campylobacter jejuni was the culprit of this outbreak. Using pulsed field gel electrophoresis, 10 strains of Campylobacter jejuni were isolated and genotyped from the diarrhea of the infected people. C. jejuni is a spiral-shaped bacteria with a single flagellum allowing for mobility. C. jejuni is also a strict macroaerophile and requires high water activity levels and warm temperatures, specifically 37 to 42 degrees Celsius. In this real-life case involving Campylobacter, the sandhill cranes contaminated the peas in the field, which were later harvested and consumed. A pathogen reservoir is a long-term host for a pathogen. The host of the infectious pathogen normally does not get ill from the organism present. However, it can pass it on to other hosts and infect them. The sandhill cranes in this case were the reservoir for the pathogen Campylobacter. Campylobacter strains are naturally found in the gut of many different types of birds, including the sandhill crane. Because Campylobacter is found in the gut naturally of cranes, it rarely causes diseases in the animal. Healthy cranes crossing and landing in fields depositing fecal matter contaminated raw peas before being harvested. After harvest, the pea facility was not properly handling and cleaning peas, thus leading to the outbreak among consumers.
Campylobacter can be controlled by maintaining good hygiene, protective clothing of workers, and using a suitable disinfectant. Because birds are a common reservoir for Campylobacter, precautions should have been taken knowing the bird reserve was so close to the pea fields. However, when inspectors evaluated the pea processing plant, they noted several food safety hazards. First, the processing water at the plant did not have chlorine added to it. Chlorine, as we have seen in lab, is an effective chemical agent used in sanitizing that kills a large number of bacteria, including Campylobacter. Second, inadequate plumbing was found in the processing areas. This can lead to an increase in moisture that not only creates good growing conditions for Campylobacter, but other pathogens as well, such as Listeria. Finally, inadequate work surfaces were also found. This can increase the overall microbial load. In addition to poor sanitation in the processing facility, pea packages with directions to blanch peas were often repacked in bags that did not include this label. Blanching is the process of heating and then rapidly cooling vegetables to keep colors and flavors during storage, but it also kills organisms on the surface. This at-home step was skipped or improperly done by the consumers who fell ill.
After the outbreak, the pea plant halted harvesting. The following harvest, the company, being aware of this issue with the cranes, began to take more preventative measures. In the pea fields, they added scare cranes in hopes of scaring away cranes from landing in the fields. Chlorine was also added to the wash used in processing peas, and the packaging label was changed to more clearly show blanching steps. Since these changes have been made, there has not been any more reported outbreaks of Campylobacter. This case is an example of how environmental factors such as the unexpected pathogen reservoirs are so important to understanding the different microbial agents that can be within a food processing plant.